And we are back. Welcome back to Real Chill Conversations, everybody. On a Tuesday night, yes, but this is the day that fits for us for the next 2 or 3 weeks.
Yes, our schedules are just all over the place. We didn't want to keep you guys in suspense for holding out on new episodes. So we just said, let's just do it. So here we are together on a Tuesday, having a real chill conversation. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, that's right. So I did want to let's get into it because I did speak to one of our viewers,
Yep.
and that is the reason we're having this podcast tonight. Well, the title of the podcast of dealing with an ex. I mean, I
mm.
know that most of us had to deal with an ex. So
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
I'm coming in a good place today. Please don't take anything personal. I'm just talking in general. Yes, I
Yes.
may, relate to certain things, but we're gonna just keep it, respectful and cute.
Yep.
Um,
Keep it
so
cute, keep it classy.
that's right. So how do you emotionally recover when your ex moves on? Because let's be real. Obviously you were with that person because you had feelings for that person.
Right.
So sometimes, it does hurt, you know, when you see someone else move on that you really loved and care about. If you really
Absolutely.
loved that person and really cared about them, I feel like it is gonna hurt you a little bit to
Yep.
see them move on. So
Yep.
so how do we emotionally recover from this?
So this is an excellent question, and shout out to the viewer that brought it to your attention so that we could have a conversation about it. I think that there's a couple of takes on this situation in this scenario. So in the first scenario is that you're with someone and you've been together however long you've been together. For whatever reason, it doesn't work out. And then that person moves on, right?
Exactly, especially in long-term relationships.
Yep.
You know, in a lot of cases in long-term relationships, of course, there's some feeling there. So I can only imagine it has to be hard to actually move on. And not only that, but sometimes I feel like we are so quick to get into other relationships
Yes.
just because we want somebody to fulfill that space,
Yes.
to make it look like, okay, I can get over you.
Right.
But does that really be the case?
No. It doesn't really be the case. It doesn't really work. I know that there's that saying that the quickest way to get over someone is to get under somebody new. That doesn't work either. I mean, feelings are feelings. You're going to have them. You got to feel them. You're going to experience them. You can't bury them in a new person that you're trying to use to not think about the person that you were with and you guys are no longer together. Those scenarios just don't fit, they don't match, they don't work. And
But it is a hard pill to swallow, let me tell you.
it is
I
difficult. It's
mean, when
difficult to accept it, of
it,
course.
it really is like when you've been with someone for so long, or just imagine your first love, the first person that you fell in love with,
Yep.
and then you actually go through that breakup. It's hard to move on. And a lot of people can relate to this. I mean, it's still some bitterness there that exists
Mhm.
when you see that person with someone else.
Mhm. It
A lot of
is.
things are not what they seem. Sometimes people usually just post happy moments. with their new person on social media, if
Right.
it's either to make a person jealous or show that other person that, hey, I was able to move on and I got somebody new.
Right.
um and sometimes I know that people be like, well, they looked happy.
Right.
you
Right.
know
And meanwhile they with that other person and the whole time they thinking about the other person and the other person is tired of it like you still thinking about your ex. Da 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 da. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on and on. And I just think that you have to, like you said, it's a bitter pill to swallow, but it's real life and it's reality and you have to just deal with it. You have to just you know, pull your big girl boots on and be like, okay, like I'm going to be fine when it's time for me to be in another relationship or to be with somebody else or meet somebody else or whatever the case may be, then that'll be that time. But when you try to rush it and you just jump into something because you think it's gonna, show that oh I can move on too and I'm not still hung up on this person and I can't get nobody else or I'm stuck in a single status. I mean, people worry about the wrong things,
I want you to
honestly.
go a little bit deeper on that because you just said something very important. Like jumping into, you can't just, when it's just jumping into another relationship, that's not going to work.
Right.
So elaborate a little bit deeper on that because I think some people need to understand that. What is a good time frame to give yourself to actually give that time and space in order for us to be able to move on with someone else?
So I think that number one, I think that a lot of that has to do with the length of the relationship. Now, if we're talking, 5, 10 plus years that you're with someone, and then all of a sudden you're not with that person, listen, y'all have been together longer than a lot of people have even been married. Some people can't stay married for 6 months. But here you are with this person 5, 10
Exactly.
even more years. So I think that, in a normal scenario, something like that, long-term situation, a long-term relationship, I honestly like looking back at the choices and this and the decisions that I've made after dealing with an ex, I would give myself a year of healing, a year of getting back to myself, a year of understanding who I am without this person and without being dependent on this person for my different things, being my support system, being the person that I go to talk about, whatever issues or concerns that I have with. Not having
Would
this
this be
person.
a time, Brenda, where you would actually like research maybe the possibility of what was the breakup about to be able to kind of um do your little research and
Oh
see
yeah,
if there is something
I
that
would
you could do to go back with that person,
I
or
would do
you would
my
just let it go.
I would first of all I would do my research because that amount of time, we're not talking about 3 months or 6 months here, okay? We're talking long term. So I would do my research. I would want to do my due diligence and I would want to know, was there a contributing factor? Was there something that I missed? Were there signs that I was being shown and I ignored them? Was this
Wow.
person trying to communicate to me in
Hmm.
their own way that they were not happy? And I just ignored it and just thought that because we looked cute in our pics on social media and people told us we made such a cute couple and we had a beautiful family and all the other things that may or may not go along with that situation, that I just ignored it and wasn't paying attention to my relationship. One of the things that we tend to be guilty of that we don't often recognize and we really fail to acknowledge this aspect of it is, when you first get with someone and you guys are in the honeymoon stage, You guys, puppy love, the whole bit. They make you laugh, they make you giggle, you smiling, you blushing, you get butterflies, you get excited to see them, you look forward to your date night, you look forward to your
Right.
movie night, you look forward to your Netflix and chill, you look
Okay.
forward to riding down 85 together to just to go check out a spot and hit a lounge and have some hookah and a drink or something like that. But when you get in these long-term relationships and you've been in a relationship for a long time, a lot of those things that you were doing in the beginning, they start to fall off. They start to
So
fall
some of
off.
us, Brenna, drop the ball, okay, at times. And
It happens.
a year is a pretty long time.
Yeah.
And just doing my research and talking to different people and people that have been in long-term relationships, they'll just be like, I know circumstances of when I'm having a conversation with one of my friends or such and such, and they'll be like, "Well, I saw him with his new wife or his new girlfriend online, and they just she was sitting on top of him, and they look very happy." And I want to say this. Um, Sometimes with the Facebook posts and the Instagram and all the social media stuff,
Right.
a picture does not determine what that person is going through in their lives.
It
Trust me.
doesn't. It
I've seen
doesn't.
it many times where
Many, many
we
times.
have matching pajamas, we have
Uh-huh.
matching, uniforms,
Yep.
and all of a sudden the whole family's broken apart.
Exactly.
So yeah, that doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't.
I can smile on a video, on a picture, on
Yep.
social media, and you
Yep.
would think I am just a I am
Happiest.
I may be having a ball at that moment.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
But
Right.
that moment does not identify my life in what
Right.
I'm going through in my personal life.
Right. In your
So,
long-term relationship.
guys, for you people out there stressing about social media and your ex, I just have one thing to say: don't stress yourself, boo.
Yeah.
That is just a perception. You don't know the entire story.
and
So,
and most likely it most likely it is set up for you to see, so
exactly.
really don't take it personally. Now let's get back to the time frame. Now the reason why I said a year is
Mhm.
because a lot of us may or may have not ever entertained the thought of therapy. And if you're with your partner and you enter into therapy for various reasons, and let's say one of those reasons was infidelity, right off the bat, early on in your therapy session and your moments with your counselor and your significant other, the therapist will tell you that it is a process, and it's a process that can take up to a year to heal from. And I say that
Oh
because
wow, because I know you're not lying. Like
be, be-
seriously, because
because
I've heard it.
I also have a friend that was divorced not too long ago,
Mhm.
and she went into therapy, not because she wanted to figure out what she did wrong in the relationship, because it really was not a her issue, it was a him issue. They did try to go to therapy a few times, but he was like, I'm just here because she wants me to be here, so he never really spoke, he never really identified any issues or anything like that. But she was told the same thing, so she continued therapy on her own, and the therapist told her, baby girl, it's going to take you a year to get back to who you need to be. And
So
so
you saying that, I have a question.
yeah,
If you move on too fast, is that new person a rebound?
it is.
I just want to know.
It is. If you ask me, in my
I need a
opinion,
bill.
that person is a rebound. And I
Okay.
don't think you even realize it at the time. I think when you get with that person, you're so smitten with the fact that this person is making you happy. You're not feeling the pain and the pangs that you were feeling from the breakup of your ex. Here's someone that's showing you affection, attention. They want to talk to you all the time. Like, they want you, and to be wanted is what we all want. Everybody wants to be wanted by somebody, you know? So to have that available to you in your life, I mean, who's going to turn that down? You're not going to be like, "Oh girl, you're only halfway through your self-healing. You need to tell this man to hold on for another 4 months before you finish your self-healing." No, nobody's going to in their right mind is going to do that. Maybe 1 or 2% of the people that are going through the process are going to do that. But if you really do the work and you really work on yourself and you understand boundaries and you understand, what you need to be held accountable for and what's out of your control, and how you can only control your behavior, that you cannot control the behavior of others. Those are the conversations that you need to have that will help you heal, because a lot of times we want to blame ourselves and feel like, "Oh, well, I wasn't doing enough. I didn't do this enough. I didn't do that enough." Maybe in certain situations, maybe that might be the case, but that can't be all of it. That can't be everything. You can't tell me that after 5 years, 10 years, and I fell off, a few times in a few areas, a couple of times, but not all the time, that this is the reason why we're no longer together, why you're leaving me. So that's why I think it's important to do the work and really get to understand yourself. Get your strength back, take your power back. Don't settle for the first or second or third thing that comes along. Just because a guy thinks you're cute in the store or the gas station or the club or the lounge or wherever you might be, or the airport in the lounge, or sitting in the seat next to you and thinks you're cute and wants to take you out on a date, does not mean that you have to go. If he want to chit chat and you want to text and da 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 da, whatever, whatever, and keep it light and keep it moving, fine. Do that to distract yourself. But don't jump into a whole nother relationship and you haven't even healed from the one that you've just exited from, whether it was on your terms, whether it was on his terms, or whether it was a mutual decision. There's work that needs to be done. And that's
I
after
hear you.
every single relationship. That's after every single relationship. I don't care how many times people want to be like, "Oh, you just have to go through that experience once and you know what to do." No, you don't, because every relationship is different and there's different things that factor into those relationships. I've been with people for years and years and years. I've been with people for 6, 7, 8, 9 months. I've been with people for 3 months. I've been with people for 2 months. I mean, it is what it is. And
And that
what,
has happened to some people. And
yeah,
I can honestly say that because let me tell you. So, there has been circumstances where a person is, been with somebody for 5 plus years
yeah.
or 3, 5 years, whatever. And then they find somebody who likes them and, they like them back or whatever, but you're supposed to be with this person. You let this person go because now you feel like you already have somebody under your wraps, only to get with that person. And now you missed out on the person that you said you loved. And now like 10, 15 years later, you're looking for that person. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
it's just
Girl.
it's crazy to me that, you know because of a stir of a moment, whether you were upset, whether that person made you upset, or that person did something to you, instead of you trying to work it out, you went and immediately got into a relationship with another person, knowing that you were still in love with the other person. So
I'm a
now it's like you really just have to swallow that pill. Or do you go back to try to amend something with that person? I don't know what the situation would be here because this is just an example that I'm
right,
giving.
right.
But
So I have a scenario. Okay. So the scenario is someone that I was very much interested in, and I knew that this person was very much interested in me. We had a really, really, really close friendship. We had a really close bond. We were real cool. We talked every day. We like hung out. I mean, this is years ago. This is like, back in college times, and when you're still figuring yourself out and all that. But I knew this person liked me, and I knew that I liked this person, but
right.
we was just real cool. Like, we would chill out and we would grab lunch together in the student center, grab a slice of pizza, play a game of Mortal Kombat. I'm giving away my age here, talking about these old ass video games, but anyway, this person, was somebody that I was like super 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 cool with, and we were real tight, and I knew that we liked each other. But the caveat here is that we were both with other people. I had a boyfriend and he had a girlfriend. We never crossed any lines. We never did anything inappropriate that we wouldn't do in front of our significant others. But we did have conversations, and it was like, I know I know you feel it. I know you feel that we have chemistry. And it was like, yeah, but you're with so and so and you're with so and so type situation, right? So,
So in that case, what do you do? Do you let the other person go? Do you talk to them?
no,
Do you let them know? Well, it would be lying to your partner if you don't let them know that you have feelings for someone else. That is still cheating.
that is an absolute misstep on my behalf. I felt like if I was to say something, that it was going to cause a problem, and I didn't want to disrupt the friend group as it was. I didn't want to cause any issues. I didn't want there to be any problems or anything after
But the
that.
issues would be for you to be in a place where you don't want to be.
Mm-hmm. So,
And like the person who makes you happy, the person that you love, it's like basically just that's going to cause an issue because you're going to want to be around that person. So why not let your partner know that I don't know. I just feel like just because a person moved on doesn't mean they don't love someone else. I mean,
yeah,
you know, to me, it's like some people cannot be by themselves.
right.
So they
And they
jump
and
into
they
another relationship with a potential of it failing as well
right,
years later. It doesn't
right.
matter if it's 10 or 15 years
And
later.
that's exactly
That
what that's
wasn't the person that you wanted.
that's exactly what happened. So
That's what you stuck by because
me
either
and
out of convenience or something else. You know what I'm saying? So
yep,
now you're stuck in this, you done made a family in everything with this person.
yep,
Now, and I'm just giving y'all scenarios. I'm just
yep.
saying, like,
And it didn't work out with me and the person that I stuck with. It didn't work out with him and the girl that he stuck with. This person reached out to me, and we started talking again, and it was the whole like what if scenario. What if we would have this, what if we would have that? And I was like, we can't go back in time. Like, the decision that we made was the decision that we made. And he was like, what if we gave it a try? And I was like, oh my gosh, like, what are you doing? This was 10 years ago. Like, what are you
I
doing?
mean, even though I've done it, I will not tell anyone else to do it. I mean, you know, we learn, okay? we're humans. First, let's put that in there, okay?
Right.
Everybody,
And
we
that's what I want to say.
have learned
I was
from our
young. I was
mistakes.
young and I was dumb and I saw my parents
You
like
wasn't dumb. You were
going
learning.
going through
You wasn't dumb.
I saw my parents going through a divorce and I did not want to be the bad guy. I didn't want to be like, "Hey, so I just wanted to tell you that, I'm really starting to have feelings for
I've
so and
been there.
so and da 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 da." So I just didn't want to do that. I didn't want to be the bad guy. And at the end of the day, I wasn't the bad guy. At the end of the day, it wound up not working out. He wound up moving on literally like 3 weeks after we broke up. There was a new chick that was, going to his spot that he was having on his arm. And I used to see them around campus and it was annoying as hell. I, I'm not proud of this. But the girl and I, we got in a fight.
Whoa.
That's a whole nother topic.
Oh, you really got to dealing with an ex. Look.
That's a whole nother topic. But yes, because I was so mad that this girl had seen me with this dude for years and years, on campus, knew that I was his chick, knew that was my dude, knew he rode around in my car and da 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 da. And here she is 3 weeks later on his arm. Like what? And I was so mad. I remember we were coming back from a break and we were outside and we were all moving our stuff back in and they were like outside, they were standing outside and they were like hugged up or whatever whatever, and I was like, "Hey, what's up?" And he was like, "Hey, how's it going? Like, what's going on?" And I was like, "You tell me." And so she was like, what you say?" And I said, "I wasn't talking to you, I was talking to him." And she was like, "If you talking to him, you talking to me." And I was like, "Well, we can go right now."
Okay.
And then we went right there. And my ass almost got suspended from school because of that shit. So sorry guys. Um don't do what I did, okay? So let me just tell you how much
So
growing
years
I have
later,
done. Yes.
yes. So years later,
Years
um,
later.
I can say that I would recommend not to mislead other people, hurt
Yep.
them, and being with them under false pretenses. And sometimes in the moment, you're not aware of this. Okay. And you're not going to be because you really don't know what's going on. You like a
You don't.
person, you're feeling them, but all of a sudden it's like, boom, nothing else. Like it's not what you thought it was.
Exactly.
Um, and it takes a minute to realize it. So just be careful and know
And be
that if any,
patient.
yeah,
Be
and if
patient.
anything changes, as much as some people really do fall in love and really do care for a person, I would always rather for a person to be honest with me than
Absolutely.
lead me to the wrong direction. If
Absolutely.
you got somebody, let me know. If you just like me, let me know. If you love me, if you're in love with me, let me know. If you're in love with someone else, let me know. Like, I need to know because I don't want you to be wasting your time and
Or
don't waste
mine.
mine. Okay. Um, and I feel like when you break up with an ex, okay, resolution, address the issues is best on both parties. Like,
Yep.
do you agree with never going back with each other? Do you think there is potential of getting back with each other? All these things need to be questions that you need to be asking yourself. Um,
Exactly.
I'm
Ex-
sorry, in my younger years, it wasn't like that.
Right.
But now that I'm older and I'm learning as I go, I fall short sometimes. A lot of
Right.
times,
We all
a lot
do.
of times I've fallen short. But I always try to keep in mind that I'm not going to do you, I'm not going to do you wrong. So I'm just gonna be honest with you, and I'm gonna tell you.
Right. Which is
Um,
the best thing, which is the best thing to do. At the end of the day, after all of my experiences and my life lessons and the things that I've gone through, honesty, is really the best policy. And when you're honest, you're coming from a place of genuineness and pure intentions. When you're honest, you're not being honest because you want to hurt someone's feelings. You're just telling the truth. And if you telling the truth does happen to cause someone some hurt or some pain, I apologize for that because that's not my intention. But I'd rather tell you the truth now. I'd rather have you feel this little bit of pain right now, for a shorter amount of time than me to go years and years and years and then to make an announcement, hey, this is how I'm feeling. I'm not feeling it. This is not going to work.
or
After you
have
get
kids, or have
right,
kids, a whole
right,
family get
right,
married. You know
right.
how much it hurts for
Yes,
you to break up a
yes,
marriage. It really does hurt. Like,
yes,
and it may not even hurt because you love that person particularly, but because you have kids with this person, you have
right.
built a life, your both of your incomes are like matching. You know what I'm saying?
Yep,
It's like a lot of things go into it. It might not be necessarily, oh, I love this person so much, I don't
right.
want to get divorced. No, there's a lot of things in a divorce. There is
Yes,
money, time,
yep,
what we need to how you just gonna walk away?
right.
So we need to figure this out first.
Right. Who's going
And
where? Like who keeps the house or who has to move? Do we put the house up for sale? What do we do about the kids? Are we doing the kids? Are we splitting the week? Is it 1 week on, 1 week off? Are you doing weekends? Like there's a whole bunch of stuff that comes into play, especially when you have children involved. And I think one of the most difficult scenarios and situations, and I've been here
it's the children.
before, is the children. And when you're trying to effectively co-parent with someone that you have children with, and you want them to see you guys getting along and having conversations that's not necessarily just about them or what they have going on with school or their activities or a doctor's appointment or whatever, when you guys get to that point where you're going out and like doing things as a family or going out and having family dinners. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that with co-parenting, but sometimes those lines get blurred and you think that, oh, wait a minute, like we do have a good time together. We are enjoying each other's company. Did we rush this? Not working out, and it can get confusing. So just be mindful and just be careful of what it is that you're actually feeling when you're in that space of a state of separation and you're not with someone anymore romantically, but you still have to co-parent your children and you still have to spend time together. You're going to be in each other's lives for the rest of your lives because your children are going to go on and get married. Your children are going to go on and have children. You're going to grandparent. You're going to have family functions. You guys are going to be there in each
And
other's
sometimes
spaces.
sometimes the kids don't want to see you. They don't understand as far as a breakup,
Yep.
or if you're married, a divorce, or
Yep.
anything like that. So
Yep.
you also have to keep that in mind. And I feel like the kids do get hurt. People be like, oh, I was one of those that would be like, we'll just push through,
Yep.
and I'll take accountability for that. But I did see a lot of hurt and pain, and I was like, what did I do?
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
tried to get out of a situation. But it really does hurt the kids. So I would say in that regard, treat things very sensitive, like you would treat your life, because like I said, kids do get hurt as
Well,
well, and
girl,
they do get stressed out.
I'm gonna jump in here just real quick and say this. When my mom announced to me my
Mhm.
freshman year of college, that she was divorcing my dad. I was like, Amen, hallelujah. I don't know why you didn't do this years ago. And I'm probably in the 1 or 2% that talks about the kids being hurt or
And how
affected.
old were you?
I was 18 at the time, and my
Okay, so
parents had
you
been
was a little older.
my parents had been married for
I think
20,
I think
I
at
think
18 you're
20
able
years.
to I think at 18 you're able to understand a little bit more a breakup based
When
on
I was 5, I saw my mom, crying all the time. When I was 7, I saw my parents arguing and got in the middle of it. When I was 9, my mom was miserable. My mom is
um,
not the same person that she is today since she has been without my dad. And so for me, it was so like relieving that she was finally doing something so that I could see her happy. I grew up my whole entire life, 18 years, grew up with that
oh well,
lady, moved,
if it's for your mental safety and your
mo-
physical safety, then I
yes,
have no problem, for
yes,
you to walk away. I
moved,
mean, I don't feel
moved.
like nobody should be stressing themselves out to the point where they cannot function. And this is what I tell people. There is no way that we should be putting a man, okay, before God. When I say amen, and I'm gonna get a little religious here, but when I say amen, I'm talking about us humans.
Yep,
We fall short every day.
every
Okay?
day. Yep.
So we would have less pain if we do not put people in front of God,
Hmm.
because he is going to, first of all, he tells us not to do that.
Right.
Okay? Um and that's exactly why, because we make mistakes.
Yep.
We can mess up anything. So at the end of the day, you don't want to get to a point where you saying, oh, because I see this on social media, especially a lot. I see it a lot where some people want to end their life, because of a man, because of a woman.
Right.
And I feel
Right.
like it should never come to
Never.
that. You know what
No.
I'm saying? You can love somebody pure without having to try to hurt anyone. It
Yes.
could be a pure love, and it does exist. But
Yep.
it's not going to exist if you don't have God first in your life.
That's
And I
right.
feel like when you have him first in your life, everything falls into place,
Yep.
especially in your relationships. Um I mean, I'm not against going back to your ex. I'm not,
Yeah.
okay?
I'm not either.
I feel like you should fix your relationship. You should take, like Brenna said, take the time. And I think, a year was pretty good, because that's what the counselor told me. So I know,
Mm.
it's true.
Yeah.
But that time frame should be for you to reflect.
Yep.
And this is something I didn't do, y'all. So, but I've learned, and I'm saying, like, okay, yes, this is true. This should be a time for you to reflect and see what made you break up with that. What did that person do?
Right.
Reflect on all of these things, so you'll know. Yeah, I don't have to get back together. You know,
Yeah.
I do feel like some people hold back from speaking their true feelings, and sometimes that can be very overwhelming. And, you can block the ability to be able to talk to your ex or even communicate with them.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. But if the ex is out
yeah.
there and wants to know what you're doing, they will do what they can to try to find you. That is all I'm going to say on
So
that.
okay, so answer this question. Do you think, if you're in a situation where you're married per se, okay, what do you do in that circumstance that you see an ex, okay, and you this is someone that was your first love, someone you really um spent time with, and you still have feelings for them, but you're married. Do you talk to your wife about it and let her know, or do you think they should keep it to themselves?
Am I trying to pursue these feelings, or am I acknowledging that I have feelings for this person because we have a history together and this was my first love? Because I believe it's possible to maintain having feelings for someone and even having a love for someone without necessarily wanting to be with them.
So if
But
you still have feelings for your ex, does that mean you moved on too quickly? I'll put
it
it that way.
It could. Yeah, it very well could, because especially if it's been years and years and years and years and years and I'm still feeling the way that I felt all of those years ago, then man,
So that's when we go back to saying
maybe I jumped in too fast.
what you just said. So
Yep.
maybe you just moved on too fast.
Maybe I
And
just
you
jumped on too fast.
did you miss that opportunity to actually reflect on what it was that made you break up with that person, or that person break up with you?
I did, because I think if we had the opportunity and if I had an opportunity to reflect on myself and what was going on, and to have an honest communication with that person as to what was going on with us at the time, I feel like we would have been able to fix it. I feel like we would have been able to recover from it, because a love like that lasts through, decades of time, and a person can still look at you and see you the way that they saw you when you were 18 and you're 20 years older than that, is just outstanding, and that's the kind of love that I want in my life.
So
Not the
based on research, you guys, with what Brenda is saying, and based on research, I have news for all of you, okay? So your feelings were never resolved, okay? You put a band-aid on it.
I did.
You see what I'm saying? And
I
that's the thing.
did.
That's the mistake that we make.
I did. I put
Um,
a band-aid on it, and I thought I could build a whole new life with a whole nother person.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And after a breakup, like I said, based on research, there is work for you to do. It is not moving on. Okay, so get that out of your mind.
Right.
Evaluate, heal, and grow. Figure out if it was you. Look in the mirror instead of always blaming the other person, and make
Yeah.
sure it wasn't you, the
Don't
issue.
book a cruise to Mexico and hook up with the dude, that's sitting next to you at the bar, and come back and y'all coupled up and y'all been together for 2.5 months now, and you got the
Listen,
key to his apartment. Don't
okay.
don't don't do that. Don't
Enjoy
don't
this
do that.
time. Don't do that. And enjoy this time with yourself. Give yourself 90 days to a year,
Yep.
okay? To see if y'all can work things out.
Mhm.
During this time, you will be able to see if it's worth it or not. If you do
Yeah,
all of these things, you're going to know. You don't get blessed by being an asshole to people, okay?
you
Let
don't.
me just
And
put that out there.
and
You
you
don't
have
get
to
blessed.
you have to be patient in order to be blessed as well, because God provides for you in his time, not your time, his time. So if we're more
And
patient,
people, that is so true. And y'all too, remember this. People make wrong decisions because they are so focused on what happened to them.
right,
And we don't want to see, like, what did we do?
right,
Okay? We always talking about what somebody else did. Ask, was this a good person to you? Was this
yes,
a good person to you? That's
yep,
what you should be asking. Get
mm-hmm,
yourself right. Like, you can't always be like, oh, he broke up with me. Like, what did I do? And da 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 da, or she broke
girl,
up with
get it
me.
together, get it
What
together, girl, get it together.
Like
That's what I'm
what?
gonna say.
Like,
Get it together.
and you're always like blaming the other person. Well,
Mm.
they did this and they did that, where she was like this and she was
Take
like that.
accountability. Take
Sometimes
accountability.
it's you and you don't even know it. And
Yep,
usually, and some people just leave you to see if you gonna get it together.
that's right.
They're gonna be right on the sideline waiting on you,
Just
saying,
watching.
"Okay, okay,
Just
okay, baby,
watching and waiting.
okay,
Yep.
baby. Do you get it now? Do you
Yeah.
get it? Like
Yep.
what I did? Do you get it?
Right.
Do you understand now
Mm-hmm.
of why I did what I did?"
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, guess what? In my position, I would do that. I
Yep.
would break up with someone just to see what they're going to do.
Yep.
Because if they did something to mess up our relationship, knowing how open I am to things, you know what I'm saying? And you just really had to mess it up
Yeah.
and you messed up and I walk away from you, I want to give you that time to reflect and evaluate what you did.
What you
But if you're
did.
playing the blaming game and blaming stuff on me and say it was my fault, then we're going to have an issue.
Right. Right.
No, I want you to reflect and think about what you did. Don't
What you
blame it on
did.
me. Okay?
Mm-mm.
Don't blame it on me. Let's take accountability. We're almost halfway with this, okay? Through life.
Right. Right.
We don't need to be acting like we're 18 and 19 anymore. Okay. We are
Right.
very grown.
Right.
So please reflect on the things that you have done. And then from there, I'll still give you an opportunity to make it right. And if
Yeah.
I'm the person you love and want to be with, I'm here.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Usually people don't heal and just move on.
That's right.
That's on the surface,
Yeah.
past hurt. You know, you just have to address it. And if you don't address it, if you continue to ignore it, you could drive yourself insane.
Oh my gosh.
And your new partner.
Oh my
Both
gosh.
of you gonna be
Truth.
unhappy, insane,
Truth.
because or your new partner that is trying to figure out what the fuck is going
What
on
the
here.
fuck is going on here?
Okay, and
What have I
how?
gotten my
Leave it at
what
that.
have I
How it
gotten
felt with
myself
me.
into? I met this little cutie on a cruise. She had a good job, credit score was good. She had her life together. She seemed like she was on point. But every time I talked to her, she falling apart and falling out over this man that she used to be with. Don't be that girl. Don't be
Okay.
that girl. And don't be that man. All right?
Seriously, I'm
Man,
gonna
I'm
be sitting down. I'll be sitting down. Sometimes women do that. Y'all know we do that. So
yep.
please don't tell me we don't do that, because I
Yep.
know we do that.
Yep.
We'll try to prove a point, okay?
Mhm.
Like
Yep.
you can't. This is my bound, and that's okay. It's good to have boundaries. Hey, you crossed it. We got a problem. So either you gonna get it together, and this is not all women, but some women. Some
Right.
women just gonna be like, I'm not trying to work nothing out. Goodbye.
Nothing. Goodbye.
But
Yep.
some of us will. Some women will. Let's see if he can get it together.
Yep. Yep.
Let's see if he can really see that my love for him was really true, pure, and
Right.
honest.
Right.
Let's see. You
Mhm.
know, sometimes we just want to see, but instead of some man reflecting on it and evaluating and actually coming into their own conclusion, not what their friends tell them,
Right.
they end up losing that person because they'll be like, you know what? F that. She left me.
Right. I'm
Or
going I'm
F
going o-
that.
I'm
She
going over
hurt
here with
she
this
hurt
girl.
my feelings. She hurt my
Right.
heart. And you never told her that she hurt your heart.
Right.
You never told her what she did to hurt
Yep.
you.
Yep.
So you leave that, you try to jump into another relationship with another female, another woman, and boom, now you're looking 10 years past, you're with your woman.
Yep.
You made a life for yourself. And now
Yep.
you're looking back trying to deal with the next that you never healed from.
Right.
You never closed that chapter.
Ever. Ever, ever,
So
ever.
now what do you do? What do you do? Do you go cheat on your person that you're
No.
with?
No, we're not doing that.
What do you do? Y'all just think on that and leave your
Think
comments,
on it. Drop
and
it in the comments. But
we'll leave with this.
we'll leave with that. But don't cheat on your person. Just don't do that. Okay? And
Exactly. Or you be a man or a woman, whoever, and let them know
let them
how
know.
you feel.
Yeah. Straight and simple. Straight and
Yeah.
simple. Don't be fighting in the courtyard like I was. Don't be doing that. Don't be getting mad because
And
three
if you
weeks
need to
later
talk
he
to your
moved
ex,
on.
go talk to your ex. Sometimes you
Yep.
need closure.
Yep.
Go talk
Yep.
to your ex.
Well, I didn't need closure with her in my damn face. Okay, I'm gonna just say that she was in my damn face, and I didn't appreciate it. But that was the old me. I'm healed now. I'm healed. I'm
We-
healed.
We're doing better. I feel like I've learned so much, and I have, and I'm
I
thankful for that.
love I love sharing these stories because when I talk about them, I remember them as though it was yesterday. But it's almost like, who was that girl? Because I would never do that today. Today, I would never, that would never be my approach. Not especially not over no dude. No. Um but yeah, it's life is, it's a journey, and every day, we wake up and we try to have the best intentions and set the right intentions so that we have great expectations and outcomes for our day. But as Dominique said so perfectly, we are human and we do make mistakes, and we have to give
And you will
ourselves,
continue to make them, but it's
we
all
have to give
about.
ourselves grace for that, and we have to be patient with ourselves, but we also have to be honest. You have to be honest
Now,
with
if you're making the
yourself.
same mistake, then I don't know what to say.
Right.
But you didn't
we
learn.
can't we can't help you over here if you repeating the same mistake.
You just didn't
You
learn.
you
That's
you
all it
you
is.
you you got to find another podcast if you making the same mistake. But if you honest with yourself and you're honest with your partner, then
No, let them come over here. We'll fix them.
you should be in a good space. Yes, yes. Yes, our ears are open for anyone. We thank y'all for listening. We appreciate you joining us tonight on a Tuesday.
That's right, on a Tuesday.
On a Tuesday, and we will see y'all next week. Same time, same location. I don't know what we're talking about yet, but we'll get it figured out and make sure that you guys are updated in the chat and also on our Instagram, which is Real Chill Conversations. Check it out if you haven't. I know it's been a minute since we've done some updates, but Dominique did a lovely post and I liked it. I gave it a nice heart when I saw it today. So, yes, we will get back on our Instagram game as soon as I'm finished with this class, y'all. I just got just a couple more days and I'm done with this class. And then I'm going on some vacation time and I'm going to come back refreshed, rejuvenated, and all of that good stuff. But
Yes,
again,
the vacation.
yes, we thank y'all for tuning in and joining us tonight. On that note, I'm out. It is time for me to go to bed so I don't wake
Peace
up
out, y'all.
and be late for work tomorrow. Good night.
Good night.